The world of billionaires is often a spectacle of opulence, power, and drama, where personal lives are as headline-grabbing as their business ventures. When news broke of a billionaire divorcing his pregnant wife for a bartender, the public was immediately captivated. The story, dripping with scandal, took an even more sensational turn when it was revealed that the wife was not just a betrayed spouse but a diamond mining heiress with a fortune that rivaled her husband's. This saga, blending betrayal, wealth, and hidden identities, unfolded like a plot from a high-stakes novel, but it was all too real, exposing the complexities of love, loyalty, and legacy among the ultra-wealthy. The billionaire in question, let's call him Victor Langston, was a titan of the tech industry, known for his ruthless ambition and a fortune built on innovative software that revolutionized data analytics. At 45, Victor was the archetype of a modern mogul, charismatic, impeccably dressed, and always in the spotlight, whether at industry conferences or charity galas. His wife, Elena, was pregnant with their first child, a fact that had been celebrated in the society pages just months before the divorce announcement. Elena, in her early 30s, was often described as elegant and reserved, a woman who preferred philanthropy to the flash of her husband's world. Their marriage, which had lasted 5 years, seemed stable, even enviable, to outsiders. They were frequently photographed together at high-profile events, their smiles polished and their unity unquestioned. But beneath the surface, cracks had formed, and the revelation of Victor's affair with a bartender named Sophia sent shockwaves through their social circle and beyond. Sophia, the bartender, was not your typical tabloid villain. At 28, she was strikingly beautiful, with an easy charm that made her a favorite at the upscale Manhattan lounge where she worked. The lounge, a haunt for the city's elite, was where Victor first met her, reportedly during a late-night meeting with investors. Sophia's backstory was murky. She had moved to New York from a small European town, and her accent hinted at a cosmopolitan upbringing, though she rarely spoke of her past. To patrons, she was a skilled mixologist with a knack for remembering names and drink orders, but to Victor, she became something more. Their affair, initially clandestine, was exposed when paparazzi caught them leaving a hotel together, sparking a media frenzy. The headlines were merciless: tech tycoon ditches pregnant wife for bartender, and billionaire's betrayal. Love or lust? Victor's decision to file for divorce soon after only fueled the fire, painting him as a callous husband abandoning his family for a younger woman. Elena, however, was not merely a victim in this narrative. The revelation that she was a diamond mining heiress upended the public's perception of her. Born into the Van der Merwe family, one of South Africa's most powerful mining dynasties, Elena had inherited a stake in a diamond empire worth billions. Her family's wealth stemmed from mines that produced some of the world's most coveted gems, and their influence extended into global markets and political spheres. Elena had kept her background private, choosing to live under her married name and distancing herself from the ostentatious displays of wealth her family was known for. To the world, she was Victor's supportive wife, not an heiress with a fortune that could eclipse his own. This secrecy was deliberate. She had wanted a life defined by her own choices, not her lineage. But when the divorce made headlines, her true identity was uncovered, likely through leaks from within her own circle, turning the story into a clash of titans rather than a simple tale of infidelity. The divorce proceedings were anything but amicable. Victor's legal team argued that their prenuptial agreement should limit Elena's claim to his fortune, citing her own wealth as evidence she didn't need alimony. Elena's lawyers, however, countered that Victor had misrepresented his assets during their marriage, hiding profits in offshore accounts to diminish her share. The courtroom became a battleground for financial forensics, with accountants and investigators dissecting Victor's tech empire and Elena's mining interests. The public devoured every detail, from allegations of Victor's lavish spending on Sophia, private jets, designer jewelry, and a penthouse in London, to Elena's strategic moves to protect her unborn child's inheritance. The media portrayed Elena as a wronged woman fighting for justice, while Victor was cast as a greedy mogul trying to erase his past for a new life. Sophia's role in the saga was equally scrutinized. Some painted her as a gold digger who saw Victor as a ticket to a life of luxury, while others argued she was genuinely in love, caught in a whirlwind romance she hadn't sought. Her background began to emerge, revealing she wasn't entirely the commoner the press initially made her out to be. Rumors swirled that Sophia's family had ties to European aristocracy, though she had chosen a modest life in New York to escape their expectations. Whether this was true or a carefully crafted narrative to soften her image, it added another layer of intrigue. Victor, meanwhile, seemed unapologetic, appearing publicly with Sophia and even announcing their engagement shortly after the divorce filing. The move was seen as a provocation, especially since Elena was still pregnant, and it deepened the public's fascination with the triangle. Elena's pregnancy added a poignant dimension to the drama. She was expecting a son, and the timing of Victor's departure, leaving her in her third trimester, drew widespread sympathy. Social media platforms like X buzzed with opinions, some calling Victor a heartless opportunist, others speculating that Elena's wealth made her a less sympathetic figure. Posts on X captured the polarized sentiment. One user wrote, "Victor's a fool to leave a diamond heiress for a fling. Elena's got more power than he'll ever know," while another quipped, "Sophia's just living the Cinderella story, good for her." The public's obsession with the story wasn't just about the scandal but the larger-than-life characters involved, a billionaire, a heiress, and a bartender, each defying stereotypes in their own way. As the divorce battle raged, Elena's resilience became evident. She leveraged her family's resources, hiring top-tier lawyers and PR firms to shape her narrative. She began speaking out, not as a scorned wife but as a woman reclaiming her identity. In interviews, she emphasized her commitment to her unborn child and her family's legacy, hinting at plans to expand her influence in the mining industry. Her poise under pressure contrasted sharply with Victor's increasingly erratic behavior, as he was photographed partying with Sophia in Ibiza while court hearings loomed. The contrast bolstered Elena's image as the wronged but powerful heiress, while Victor's reputation took a hit, with some investors questioning his judgment. The revelation of Elena's wealth also shifted the dynamics of the divorce settlement. Her legal team argued that her contributions to Victor's success, through social connections and strategic advice, entitled her to a significant share of his company's profits. Victor's camp dismissed this, claiming Elena had lived off his wealth during their marriage. But financial disclosures revealed that Elena had quietly funded several of Victor's early ventures through her family's investment arm, a fact he had downplayed. This bombshell weakened his position, as it suggested their partnership was more symbiotic than he admitted. The court was tasked with untangling these complex financial ties, a process that promised to drag on for months, if not years. Sophia, meanwhile, faced her own challenges. The media's portrayal of her as a homewrecker stung, and she began to withdraw from public view, save for carefully curated appearances with Victor. Insiders claimed she was struggling with the pressure of being thrust into a billionaire's world, where every move was scrutinized. Some reports suggested she was pushing Victor to settle the divorce quickly, fearing the fallout would taint their relationship. Others speculated that Sophia had her own agenda, perhaps leveraging her new status to launch a career in modeling or influencer culture. Whatever her motives, she was no longer just a bartender, she was a central figure in a saga that captivated the world. The story of Victor, Elena, and Sophia was more than a tabloid scandal, it was a window into the complexities of wealth and relationships. Elena's hidden identity as a diamond heiress challenged the narrative of her as a victim, revealing a woman of immense power navigating a public betrayal. Victor's pursuit of Sophia raised questions about his priorities and the cost of his ambition. And Sophia, caught between love and infamy, became a symbol of how quickly fortunes, both literal and figurative, can shift. As the divorce proceedings continued, the world watched, eager for the next twist in a tale where love, money, and secrets collided with breathtaking force. The saga of a billionaire divorcing his pregnant wife for a bartender, only for the wife to be revealed as a diamond mining heiress, is a tale that could easily be mistaken for a plot straight out of a melodramatic novel or a high-stakes soap opera. Yet, the complexities of wealth, love, betrayal, and hidden identities weave a narrative that captivates the imagination and underscores the unpredictable nature of human relationships, especially when vast fortunes are at play. This story, steeped in intrigue and unexpected twists, unfolds against a backdrop of opulence, heartbreak, and the revelation of long-buried secrets. Imagine a billionaire, let's call him Victor Langston, a titan of industry whose name is synonymous with luxury real estate and global investments. Victor, in his late 40s, is a man who commands boardrooms with the same ease he navigates high society. His life appears perfect. A sprawling Manhattan penthouse, a private jet, and a pregnant wife, Eleanor, whose elegance and grace have made her a darling of the elite social circles. Eleanor, in her mid-30s, is expecting their first child, a milestone that should have cemented their bond. But beneath the polished veneer of their marriage, cracks have begun to form, driven by Victor's restlessness and a growing sense of disconnection. Enter the bartender, Sophia, a charismatic woman in her late 20s who works at an exclusive speakeasy Victor frequents. Sophia is no ordinary bartender. Her sharp wit, magnetic presence, and effortless charm make her a standout in a city filled with ambitious dreamers. She's a listener, someone who knows how to make the powerful feel understood, and Victor, drawn to her unpretentious allure, finds himself spending more time at the bar than at home. What begins as casual flirtation soon spirals into an affair, one that Victor convinces himself is the answer to his undefined discontent. Sophia represents a break from the suffocating expectations of his world, a world where every move is scrutinized, and every relationship feels transactional. The affair, however, is not as discreet as Victor believes. Rumors swirl, and Eleanor, already navigating the emotional and physical toll of her pregnancy, begins to suspect her husband's infidelity. The betrayal cuts deep, not just because of the affair but because of the public humiliation it threatens. Eleanor, however, is no shrinking violet. Beneath her poised exterior lies a resilience forged by a past she has carefully concealed from Victor and their social circle. Unbeknownst to him, Eleanor is the sole heiress to a diamond mining empire, a fortune that dwarfs even Victor's considerable wealth. Her family, based in South Africa, built their legacy in the diamond trade, but Eleanor chose to distance herself from that world, seeking a life defined by love rather than money. She never disclosed her true background to Victor, fearing it would complicate their relationship or shift the power dynamic in ways she wasn't prepared to navigate. As Victor's affair with Sophia becomes more serious, he makes the fateful decision to file for divorce. He presents Eleanor with papers, claiming their marriage has run its course, and he wants to start anew with Sophia. The news devastates Eleanor, not only because of the betrayal but because she's carrying their child, a child Victor seems willing to cast aside in pursuit of his new romance. The divorce proceedings are swift and brutal, with Victor's legal team pushing for a settlement that minimizes Eleanor's financial claim, assuming she's just another society wife reliant on his wealth. The media, ever hungry for scandal, laps up the story, painting Eleanor as the scorned, pregnant wife and Sophia as the glamorous interloper who stole a billionaire's heart. But the narrative takes a seismic shift when Eleanor's true identity is revealed. A chance encounter at a charity gala, where Eleanor's estranged uncle, a prominent figure in the diamond industry, lets slip her lineage, sends shockwaves through the elite circles Victor inhabits. Reporters dig into her past, uncovering documents that tie her to one of the largest diamond mining conglomerates in the world. Suddenly, Eleanor is no longer the wronged wife but a woman of staggering wealth and influence, whose fortune makes Victor's billions look modest by comparison. The revelation flips the power dynamic entirely. Eleanor, who had been quietly negotiating the divorce to secure a stable future for her unborn child, now holds the upper hand. The public's fascination with the story intensifies. Social media platforms, particularly X, buzz with speculation and commentary. Posts dissect Victor's decision to leave a diamond heiress for a bartender, with some users mocking his apparent miscalculation and others marveling at Eleanor's hidden strength. Imagine throwing away a diamond empire for a fling, one post reads, while another quips, this bartender better have a PhD in charm to pull this off. The sentiment online is a mix of schadenfreude and admiration for Eleanor, who emerges as a figure of quiet power, her pregnancy only adding to the narrative of her resilience. Victor, blindsided by Eleanor's true identity, scrambles to salvage his reputation and his relationship with Sophia. But Sophia, too, is not what she seems. As the media frenzy grows, whispers emerge that Sophia may have known more about Victor's world than she let on. Some speculate she targeted him, aware of his wealth and vulnerabilities, though others argue she's simply a woman who fell in love with the wrong man at the wrong time. The truth about Sophia remains elusive, but her role in the story adds another layer of complexity. Is she a gold digger, a genuine romantic, or something else entirely? The ambiguity keeps the public hooked, with tabloids publishing photos of her serving drinks in a low-cut dress one day and stepping out of a chauffeured car the next. Eleanor, meanwhile, begins to embrace her heritage. She reconnects with her family's business, taking a seat on the board of the diamond conglomerate and leveraging her wealth to fund philanthropic efforts focused on maternal health and women's empowerment. Her transformation is not just financial but personal. The betrayal and divorce, though painful, awaken a fierceness in her she hadn't fully tapped into before. She hires a team of top-tier lawyers, not to punish Victor but to ensure her child's future is secure. The settlement she negotiates is substantial, not because she needs the money but because she refuses to let Victor walk away unscathed after underestimating her. The legal battle, while contentious, is overshadowed by Eleanor's public re-emergence. She becomes a symbol of reinvention, a woman who turned heartbreak into empowerment. Magazine covers feature her glowing in her pregnancy, her steely gaze a testament to her newfound resolve. She speaks candidly in interviews about the pain of betrayal but also about the strength she's drawn from her family's legacy and her impending motherhood. I didn't choose this path, she tells one outlet, but I'll walk it with my head held high. Her story resonates with women worldwide, particularly those who have faced betrayal or been underestimated because of their gender or circumstances. Victor's relationship with Sophia, meanwhile, begins to falter under the weight of public scrutiny and his own doubts. The revelation of Eleanor's wealth forces him to confront his own motivations. Did he truly love Sophia, or was he chasing an escape from the pressures of his life? Sophia, too, faces questions about her intentions, and the couple's once passionate romance starts to crack. The media, sensing blood in the water, pits the two women against each other, framing the story as a battle between the scorned heiress and the ambitious bartender. Yet Eleanor refuses to engage in the narrative, focusing instead on her child and her legacy. As the divorce nears its conclusion, the story takes one final twist. A leaked document suggests that Victor's financial empire may not be as stable as it appears, with investments tied to volatile markets. Eleanor's wealth, rooted in the enduring value of diamonds, suddenly positions her as the more secure party. The irony is not lost on the public. The billionaire who thought he was trading up may have miscalculated on every front. Eleanor, now a billionaire heiress in her own right, emerges not just as a survivor but as a force to be reckoned with, her story a testament to the unpredictable power of hidden truths and the resilience of the human spirit.